before a tournament, I sleep really well. I was feeling good, got to go have a nice dinner, got to bed at a decent time. So going into this event, I was feeling pretty good.
Okay. Yeah, I'm an odd morning person. I'm not good in the morning, so I don't know how I get to the boat, but I went there anyway. One bad thing about fishing, you gotta wake up early.
I'm glad you drive a real truck.
There you go.
That alarm clock doesn't even get a chance. For some reason, when it's game time at MLF, it's like 5 minutes before I'm up. Thinking about the game plan in the head on, you know, what you're kind of hoping that you're gonna see and the excitement of going fishing and the excitement of fishing at MLF.
Unlike other fishing events, Major League Fishing anglers begin each morning filled with uncertainty.
We got about a 3-hour drive, so.
Okay, that suits me just fine. You know, when you show up at one of these Major League Fishing events, I always feel like there's a decoy presence going on or something's going on, and I just never believe the obvious is basically the way I look at it. I mean, it's like, okay, we're staying here on Lake Eufaula. The lake's right here in front of the Lake Point Resort, and it's like there's no way we're fishing here, you know? So, you know, I really just kind of sit back and ride.
Pulled out of the parking lot, turned left, we're headed south. So I'm thinking, okay, they're gonna put us in one of the creeks somewhere.
Typical, have no idea where we're going.
Was trying to catch that extra little power nap. I, you know, got in a truck and, you know, this is one of the first times the nerves weren't completely going haywire.
Morning.
Morning.
Ready to go. It's gonna be a fun one.
My hair look nice.
It looks.
Just check. What's up, man? All right. We're giving you a whole lot of water.
Randy handed me the map at the ramp. I was just amazed that we had that much area to fish. Normally, it seems like we're confined to a creek or a small area of a lake, but we really had plenty of water to fish.
Cool place, man. Lake Eufaula's got just a ton of history. Used to come down here every spring and fish to try to catch a 10-pound bass, and I actually caught a 9.5-pounder when I was like 12 years old. I love having massive amounts of water, but I'm talking about we had way more than we could possibly fish, so you kind of had to kind of pick it out right away.
First time you've been here?
Oh yeah, as always. You know this deal. I'm going to give you the same story I gave you the last 2 years.
Never been here. Everybody else has.
Yeah.
I want to fish against the best guys, and obviously here at MLF we have the top anglers in the entire world fishing here. But the one angler in particular, obviously Kevin Van Dam. It's great to have him there.
Hoping to have a good day. Know it's going to be a challenge, but look at that.
In my round, it's pretty simple. You look at it, you're fishing against Kevin Van Dam. Okay, there's one spot out of the top 4 off the board. So you're fishing for 3 spots once you know you're fishing against Kevin Van Dam.
More than likely, 3 out of 4 times, Kevin's going to beat me. But I told myself, once things started rolling, that today was that one day out of 4 that he wasn't going to beat me.
Probably the biggest thing about so much water to look at today is, it's going to really come down to just kind of picking a zone and focusing on it for a little bit. I had never been as far up lake as we actually took off this morning. When I saw what was going on this morning, when I saw the direction the sun was rising, and the fact that the dam was going to have shade on it for a little bit longer than a lot of the other banks on the lake, I thought I'm gonna start right here. I was fishing down the face of the riprap. I was paralleling in about 5 to 8 foot of water. I'm winding it, clicking my bait along the rocks until it broke free. And this 312 absolutely crushed it. And the thing that's cool about it, it's actually a new Signature Series toad that I'm throwing on a War Eagle buzzbait. It's a good one too, y'all. Get in here, yes! It just was one of those bites. I mean, the blade's wrapped around its mouth and the hook's as deep in its roof of its mouth as it can possibly get. That's the thing about this. I mean, you know, we're fishing down this riprap. There's a ton of good-sized bait here, and I really felt like if I could get a bite, it'd be a good one. And when you catch almost a 4-pound bass, it's like, okay, this day has potential. I mean, I knew that a 4-pounder was going to be a big one today.
Sometimes some of these creeks that have some moving water coming into them, it'll pull bait into areas like this, but there, you know, there's a heron sitting here on this buoy, but he's sleeping. You're not seeing a lot of activity, but the grass in this lake is just incredible. I mean, with this kind of grass in it, is going to turn into the next Lake Gunnersville real quick. I mean, it just expands the habitat for everything, for the bait and everything, so the old jerkbait's going to get a workout today, I think. First period, lines in, you know, a little bitty grass point at the mouth of a little pocket. You know, you see the hydrilla coming all the way to the top, but it was hard to see the grass. I knew that it's shad, it's fall, crankbaits, jerkbaits, things like that. Maybe topwater could be the deal. That one's a keeper. Here's one. That feels better. Look at there. That's what I'm talking about. I caught that first one on a jerkbait, and it didn't take long to figure out that these fish were relating to the points, you know, great grass, and 4 or 5 foot of clarity, so a jerkbait was, you know, it's my bait of choice to cover water like that. So, and it didn't take long to start catching fish. Better than a peanut.
How does it look to you, though?
It looks awesome. I mean, that's what's so crazy, and that, you know, when you get into these bigger reservoirs like this, you know, looks can be deceiving. About halfway through that first period, hadn't had any bites, you know, really was scratching my head at that point. Then I just start looking for stuff that looks good, and then there was a shoreline with some docks and some scattered water willows on it, and the wind was blowing in there, so I'm like, all right, this is a good place to flip. So picked up, you know, my go-to bait, the bait I always fish, a little 3-inch beaver, big flipping stick with 20-pound line, and started flipping in. And, you know, just looked really good. And I flipped into this one clump. I mean, it was a textbook spot. I flip in there, and I'm like, man, that should have, you know, why didn't it hit the bottom? And I lift up, and my line's just taken off.
Oh, gosh, that's a fish, and it's a big one.
I mean, this fish about hooked himself. I mean, it was just one of those deals that I think we all dream about. But, you know, you rewind and you look at it, it's like a perfect spot for it to be.
Oh. Yeah! Yes! Yes! That's how you turn it around in a hurry.
That's what makes this so exciting is here I went from being at the bottom to being, I think, in 3rd place with 1 fish. I mean, and it just totally changes your whole mindset.
Check that out. That's how this changes in a hurry right there. Thank you, fish.